everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Gentoo, your source for all things gaming and tech related. I'm Aaron James.
And I'm Wesley Ellington. Let's get right into this week's up-and-coming releases. You can see these games and many more released throughout the month on your favorite platforms.
Nothing big is releasing this week in the gaming world, but there were some big releases over break. So this week, we'll be talking about games you can actually go out and buy right now.
MLB The Show 19 for the PlayStation 4 came out on March 26. You may not be getting paid $20 million a year to hit the ball with a stick, but for $60 you can pretend you are, and that's really what video games are all about. It's a new sports game, new players, improvements to franchise mode, and the rest of the usual suspects.
Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered for the PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch dropped on March 29th. Arguably one of the last great Assassin's Creed games is finally hitting current-gen consoles. Play as Native American-born Connor as he lives and fights his way through the American Revolution.
Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch came out on March 29th. As Yoshi, you'll leap up high, gulp down enemies, and set out on a treasure hunt to find all the different collectibles. Explore each stage and then find even more secrets by making your way through the stage backwards on the flip side. You can even pass a Joy-Con to a friend for a two-player experience.
These games and many more have released throughout this month, so be sure to be on the lookout for them.
Up next, check out Aaron's analysis with Aaron.
Hello, and welcome back to Aaron's Analysis. We're going to be looking at Star Wars Battlefront 2. Not the original, but the one from 2017. Star Wars Battlefront 2 looks like Star Wars. You've got the green and red blasters, you've got guys with lightsabers, you've even got the heroes and villains of Star Wars. At first glance, all seems right as rain. There are moments in combat where the flash of blaster fire and the sound effects all combine to make it seem like this is it. This is the Star Wars experience that I've wanted. And then you watch your character move around awkwardly in third person, and the illusion is totally broken. This is a game that tries to appear as Star Wars, but any sort of abrasion quickly rubs off the paint, and you're left with something that never feels right. The whole thing is very superficial, like you're puppeteering characters who are meant to represent stuff from the Star Wars universe, but you never feel like you're a part of that universe, or that any of it is even that authentic. The movement's stiff, jumping feels weird, and you can't dash around in a satisfying way. While the characters who use the Force and the lightsabers feel weird as they run around waving their lightsabers weightlessly and awkwardly zapping each other with lightning in a really floating kind of way. The single-player campaign's in the same vein. It's attractive, but pretty hollow. You're introduced to Inferno Squad, a group of elite Imperial commandos who start to question the morality about what they're doing. When the Empire starts torching its own worlds for no reason other than evil, the character shows some resistance to just up and switching teams, but it's very obvious where it's going, and the whole thing is really a setup to stick you in a bunch of pretty environments, as well as to let you play as Luke, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and other famous characters from the series. Unfortunately, while all of this happens, it's not really that satisfying. The missions are visually varied, but in the end you're just mowing down the same people in almost every mission. The enemy models are just swapped between them, like there's no real difference between fighting a rebel fighter or Imperial stormtroopers. And the few missions that involve dogfighting and TIE fighters and X-Wings help to mix things up a bit, but are at best just okay. The story's pretty mediocre, and while all of the locations were pretty, it feels poorly connected, and I never built any real connection with the cast of characters. Even multiplayer doesn't feel all that great. The Assault mode, which are grand battles involving 40 players, seems like a cool idea, but they didn't feel great in practice. You play as an ordinary trooper, and every time you die, you gradually gain score. You get more points for killing people and for playing the objective. When you get enough points, you can spawn in as a special trooper using special weapons or vehicles, or even as one of the heroic characters. Unfortunately, the sheer scale of these battles made it hard for me to feel like you were making a difference in a lot of cases. People would swarm around the map, but there was little coordination or teamwork, and you'd often be cut down by someone who shot at you from halfway across the map on some of the more open maps. While at objectives, sometimes it feels like all you're doing was waiting for a slow-moving vehicle that's on your own side to move along to the next point, and it felt like you had very little meaningful agency in the battle, just spawning in, fighting, and dying, rather than actually doing something to help your team win. And the general stiffness of the mechanics never went away. You never really felt as good fighting in Battlefront 2 as you do in games like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Most of the other game modes might as well not have existed because no one seemed to play them, making it impossible to get into matches for me. The only positive thing I really have to say is that the game stuck to its guns when it came to weapons, and they made them real blasters instead of using ammo. They cooled off, like in the original Mass Effect or in Star Wars. And while you still reloaded, it made the gunplay feel a bit different than it does in other games. Ammo conservation wasn't an issue, and everything was on cooldown timers. In the end, Battlefront 2 feels pretty superficial. It's got the look of Star Wars, but mechanically it's unsatisfying. Even the fantasy of playing as a Jedi doesn't really work out, as it doesn't really let you feel like a Jedi, and your lightsaber feels just like another weapon, not something you fantasized about wielding as a kid. The game never excels, and in the end, a game needs to do something to justify its existence, and Battlefront 2, for all its attempts at a fancy presentation, fails to actually do so. Thanks for listening. Next up, we've got Trevor with This Week In.
What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another episode of This Week In, that segment of Gentoo where I talk about... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say it. You know what it is we do here. Okay, so this week I'm talking about Google. What? Google? Yes, Google. You know, that search engine the entire world runs on. Well, it seems like they finally made their way into the gaming market, or at least they're working on it. I don't know. We will have to wait and see how it works out for them. Anyways, the gaming service has been dubbed Google Stadia, whatever that means. Oh, never mind, found it. A method of surveying in which distances are read by noting the interval on a graduated rod intercepted by two parallel points. My God, what are you up to, Google? Oh, that explains things. According to a nice little article I found on The Verge, Google Stadia aims to bring consumers a new cloud-based gaming platform. However, when pried about Stadia's consumer model, Phil Harrison, one of the executives on the project, declined to say whether it will be a subscription-based service or some other model. We will have to wait until sometime this summer to find out. My guess is, of course, it's going to be a subscription service. I mean, the industry has been moving in that direction over recent years, and it's not like that type of model is exclusive to gaming anyways. Digital media services in general are subscription-based and have been moving away from traditional hardware-based services for some time now. The movie and music industry has already been transformed in this regard, and it seems Google aims to make gaming next. Google planned to introduce a traditional gaming hardware product. Harrison had this to say: "We don't need it. I think this is a fundamental shift the game industry is taking. For the last 40 years or however long we've had packaged media and games in the 1970s up to yesterday, games were device-centric. They were packaged on a disc or a cartridge or a tape or a download, or they were written specifically to take advantage of or up to the limitations of a particular device. We just broke through that glass ceiling today by giving the entire data center to the game developer and being completely device agnostic. So no, we don't need a console, and that's the whole point." So I think it's cool that they are essentially trying to streamline gaming, and I can see how the technology integrations with platforms such as YouTube could be great for content creators. And who knows, maybe it would be nice to not have to pay for a new console or hardware every time the next new thing comes out. Just pay Google to keep all that stuff up to date, and you get to play whatever, whenever. You know, maybe this is the next big thing that changes the entire industry, or maybe it's just another service that will join the list of Google's failures. My main concern is lag, particularly input lag. Input lag, to put it in the most basic terms, is the amount of time it takes when you press a button for something to happen on the screen. Competitive multiplayer is such a huge part of gaming today that players need the lowest amount of input lag in order to compete. We're talking milliseconds at most here. So if this is entirely cloud-based, then there is some cause for concern in that regard. However, there is still plenty more to talk about and see in the coming months leading into summer. Stadia is set to launch sometime this year. Is Stadia something you're interested in? Do you think it can disrupt gaming giants like Sony and Microsoft? But anyways, that does it for This Week In. My name is Trevor. For more gaming content like this, stick to Gentoo here on KNWT Channel 8.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Game Breakers. I'm your host, Wesley Ellington, and this week, you guessed it, you don't get to see my face. But this week we're playing WWE 2K19 My Career Mode because it's about to be WrestleMania weekend. So what you guys are seeing right now is Notorious create a wrestler suite for WWE games. Notorious because of the absolutely ridiculous creations you can make. Yo, is that Nicolas Cage's Voldemort? What? Anyway, My Career this year has its usual amazing customization with a pretty bad story. You start off with a lot of freedom in your wrestler's physical characteristics, and you can honestly spend all day in this. Up next, you have the option to go even further into your wrestler's customization by going into Create an Entrance mode. When in Create an Entrance mode, you can edit your wrestlers' moves and also their music. You can have a lot of fun with this, having the ability to try out all types of different entrances, but one of the biggest problems in this game is if you want to use your favorite wrestler's entrance, you can't without purchasing it. And sadly, this just doesn't stop at your entrance. You also have to purchase moves that don't exactly fit your wrestler's wrestling style. Which means as a technician, you can't have Shawn Michaels switch in music. Or as a striker, you can't have Bret Hart's sharpshooter. Now to get into the story. Your wrestler starts off in an independent promotion called BCW, where you face other lower rated wrestlers. You then get the opportunity to finally wrestle in the WWE, but you have a match with Braun Strowman and you're squashed. After that, nothing really happens. You eventually make your way through the ranks and you win the title. And what you guys are seeing now is my main wrestler that I've played with for a while, and honestly guys, it gets quite dry. But one of the cooler parts is you actually get to decide who your next opponent will be, and it makes for pretty interesting matchups sometimes. You also have a wide variety of matches to choose from, whether it's a steel cage, a Hell in a Cell, ladder match, or even a backstage brawl. Like previously said, my biggest quarrel with the game is that it's heavily based on purchasing moves, entrances, and really anything that makes the game fun. It's pretty hard to get any sort of virtual currency for the game, and it really doesn't force the dreaded microtransactions. I mean, guys, I was able to finish the entire story mode without even reaching the overall of 70, which is much lower than most of the wrestlers in the game. But with the little that you are given to create and enjoy, you can really have fun with this mode. Losing your imagination into a character is something that I've always enjoyed with these type of games, and I'm sure most people enjoy too. This game doesn't really stray away from that, but it does add some interesting elements to it. And that is all I got. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of Game Breakers on Gentoo. Make sure to tune in the next week where we'll be playing the long shot story mode in Madden 19. We'll see you next time.
Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of Monkey Plays. This week, I'll be reviewing what I liked and didn't like about Counter-Strike Global Offensive's Danger Zone. Counter-Strike originally released in 2012 for PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. In December of 2018, an update made CSGO free and added the new game mode, Danger Zone. At first glance, when I found out CSGO introduced a Battle Royale mode, I instantly booted up my laptop to see what it was about. This was my first time playing Counter-Strike in a very long time, so my overall knowledge of the game was very low, which made surviving very difficult. I died instantly because of the high skill gap the game offers. My mouse and keyboard were very subpar, and it really affected my experience playing. Now a year later, I'm revisiting it and excited to see what it has to offer. The first thing I loved about Danger Zone is the unique ability of having designated drop points for everybody on the map. This means you can choose a spot and your drop area will never be contested shortly after dropping, giving you the chance to find a suitable weapon. You can also see where everybody else is dropping, and I also like that. It's only for a minute and the system isn't too overpowered. The enemy just gets a general direction of where you're headed. The second thing I loved about Danger Zone and Counter-Strike in general is the audio and footsteps. I swear, with the right headset and volume settings, you can hear an enemy a mile away. In actuality, maybe not a mile, but the sound cues are very precise, and when I hear an enemy within Danger Zone or a normal match, I always have a strong idea of where they are, making my gun and mechanical skill easier if I know where the enemy is. I love the drones in this game. The ability to buy a gun, armor, health, or a faster drone speed, and then have the drone bring it to you is super cool. A downside is the drones can be shot down and stolen by other players. Also, drones can lead an enemy to your position, so watch out. The first thing I didn't like about Danger Zone is not being able to open certain crates without weapons. I didn't like this because of the possibility of the house you just looted not having a single weapon, so you're technically screwed until you do. I think all crates should be punchable, but just having smaller spawn rates for the bigger ones. I don't play Danger Zone too much, so this isn't a major concern, but it was just one of the things I died from because of not being able to open. The second thing I didn't like within Danger Zone was not having the ability to pick up and store ammo without having a weapon. This happened to me in various games, and it screwed me many times later in the game. When I would fight and kill an enemy, I usually never had ammo to be ready for a second fight. Rather, I had to buy the ammo and wait for the drone to deliver it, while again not having ammo to defend myself. I don't know why we don't have the ability to store ammo, but it's actually the only negative that I became frustrated by. Danger Zone is very enjoyable to play. While there were things I didn't like about it, that doesn't mean my experience was ruined. The game mode is very fun to play. I love the idea of the money system, and having drones bringing you the guns is very cool to see. While some matches aren't populated and takes a while to find a game, When in a match, I really enjoyed it because Counter-Strike is very fun to me because of the movement and the gun skill. One-shotting somebody is very satisfying in my own opinion. I'm going to have to go with 7 bananas out of 10 for this rating. Thank you guys for watching, have a nice day, and up next, here's Project Delta with Dalton.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a super exciting episode of Project Delta. And when I say super exciting, I mean this is going to be the worst episode I've ever experienced in my life because it's April Fool's Day. I'm Dalton Sweets, and with me is
Wesley.
And this week, we've got some really hot wings to showcase. If you're familiar with hot ones, we've got the last stab here on deck on some spicy nuggets. It's going to be a really good time. Wesley, let's just get into the pain.
Okay.
So we're playing Smash. Of course, this Smash came out last year, and everybody was really excited for it. I'm sorry, but we had a wing pre-game just to get ready, and it's kind of hot. And yeah, it's not good.
Sorry.
But I'm Donkey Kong, and Wes is Ganondorf. You can see right there with the names. Wes, how much have you played this game so far?
Well, I've never really played Smash before. Before this year, my roommate has this game, and we played it quite a bit. So I've had some time, but obviously not much since you're doing that to me. But yeah.
Oh, and the rules, we'll give you the rules in post, but that means Wes getting knocked out means he gets to enjoy another wing. Oh man, that's delicious. Let's get right back to it, Wes. I hit you with a nice little 0 to death. I'm hoping you can make me not be the only one giving out pain, but you know, Ganondorf's a pretty heavy hitter. You can see he's got that punch, and Donkey Kong is also pretty heavy. You can see he's got some mad kicks. Oh. Uh-oh, okay. But yeah, so Wes, obviously you're playing Ganondorf. I want to know who are some of your other favorite characters in this game?
Definitely Cloud.
Cloud.
Oh, gosh.
Cloud's a fan favorite. Nobody ever really expected him to make it into Smash, and he's finally here, and it's so exciting. Oh, I'm so glad that's not me. Here's wing number 3 for Wes. You got to add in the one in post, Wes. How are you doing?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die.
Uh-oh. I don't like this. I'm already regretting this.
They're cold. The nuggets are cold now.
Uh-oh.
What is?
Oh, what? But, so, no way. Oh my goodness. Smash Bros. Is like the greatest crossover ever. Avengers move over. Here's Smash Bros. We got Mario and Cloud in the same space. It's really just a great time. No. I don't like this. They're moist.
No.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, Donkey Kong. This is so painful. So, Wes,
I hate you.
since this game is such a huge crossover, I want to know, what are some of your favorite properties that are included in this game? Obviously, we've got things like Mario and Zelda and Pokemon, but what else do you enjoy?
Mario, Pokemon,
Okay.
and Zelda.
Oh, those are some good ones.
I also like to die. That's
What about Street Fighter?
Oh my God, Street Fighter is amazing. They
Oh.
got Ryu and
Oh,
Ken
this is very hot.
and
Uh-oh.
Guile. It's an item. And is it possible to die from this?
Probably.
Because I think this is.
Oh! I'm
Is
sorry,
it? Is
Wes.
it almost 3 minutes?
We're getting there slowly but surely.
This is not safe.
We've
Oh.
talked about Cloud a lot,
Oh.
and I'm just so surprised that Cloud finally made it into Smash.
Oh.
And I want to know who's somebody that you're surprised actually got put into Smash that you never thought was going to make it. Oh, we've got a little stage morph. Oh no. Oh no. Why'd I do this?
Oh, 3 minutes.
Yeah, so this is going fun. I'm really liking this. I'm not crying at all. You're crying. I just watched Marley and me. Oh no. Please, donkey, stop. Oh, please, no.
Okay. But yeah.
Oh,
Let's
no.
go. No. Die.
Oh no, I'm back. Hold up,
Die.
hold up.
We're not talking anymore.
Oh, get dunked. Oh, get dunked. Oh, thank you, Donkey Kong.
No.
Oh, so,
I'm going for a small one.
okay. Some of my favorite characters I really like are Donkey Kong, obviously.
Oh, gosh.
I like Ganondorf too, and Incineroar, because they're all kind of big, heavy hitters. I'm a big, heavy hitter guy. And I just, you know, who else do you like playing besides Ganondorf?
You said Cloud. I actually do like playing with Donkey Kong. DK is really fun to play. We look alike.
Okay.
And you know, it's a certain rapport that has been established through us, and it's amazing.
No? Okay, thank you.
What
Oh, double
What?
KO.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wes. Why'd I do that?
Why did you do this?
Okay, that's a little bit cheap.
It is. I'm losing.
Stop.
No.
So I've been playing Smash ever since Melee on the in the GameCube days.
You know it's not that hot. I'm lying.
Stop.
Oh.
How long have you been playing Smash Bros?
Not very long. The first time I ever played this game was. When did this come in? When did this game come out? Like November?
December.
Yeah. So that was the first time I played this game, and you know, I've been trying to get into it. It's a big community. I didn't realize, and it's pretty dope.
No.
It's pretty dope.
Oh no.
I won't touch you. I won't touch you.
One-
Eat that
oh,
wing,
okay,
man.
Okay,
Eat that wing.
Okay, I'm sorry. 1 minute left.
Eat that wing.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I need
I'm ready to go.
help.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I need help.
Uh,
I need.
help me. 36 seconds. I'm gonna wind up a big punch. Oh, I'm gonna read you like a book here. Oh! Oh! I'm sorry, Wes.
You know what it's for?
That kick is too lethal. You got 18 seconds. Here comes a nasty combo. Oh man, this is going great. I love this idea. Thank you so much, Wes, for joining me in this episode of Project Delta. I just won. Thank you, Donkey Kong. You can catch us next time. See ya.